My name's Lisa and I love musicals. I've always loved music and was introduced to it at a very young age. And then I found acting in about 8th grade and completely fell in love with the mix of the two. I have acted in several musicals as well as seen many more. I've been in many musicals myself. My first musical ever that made me fall in love with musicals was Guys and Dolls, in which I played the part of Sarah Brown. The second musical I was ever in was Give My Regards to Broadway, my freshman year of high school. Give My Regards to Broadway is actually a musical inside a musical, so it was a lot of fun to put on. I actually played the part of Susie the chorus girl. My third musical was Schoolhouse Rock Live, which was amazing to be in. It was so much fun, and yes, it was based off the TV shows. I did that my sophomore year, and I was part of the imaginary chorus. Fourth musical I was ever in was Kiss Me Kate, and that was with the Ritz Theater Players back at my hometown. It was an amazing experience because I got the chance to not only work with just the kids from my high school, but work with people from all over the community. We had an 80-year-old in the cast and we had a 5-year-old in the cast. It was just so much fun. The fifth musical was my junior year of high school, and that was Bye Bye Birdie, in which I played Ursula Merkel, who was actually the comic relief and probably one of the funnest characters I've ever had to play. I actually got to scream on stage and scare little old ladies with their hearing aids. My sixth musical actually makes my favorite musicals of all times list. It was Meet Me in St. Louis, and it was my senior year of high school. It was so much fun. I got to play the part of Esther Smith, and it was amazing because I got to walk in Judy Garland's footsteps. The latest musical I was in was Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. It was so much fun because it was through a local church, and I almost wasn't in it, but my friend called me and said, "Hey, we have 3 weeks till curtain and someone dropped out. Can you fill in?" So, how could I resist? It was one of the best experiences I was ever in because, again, I had the huge age ranges and I got to come in at a part where everyone had already pretty much knew what they were doing. I felt kind of dumb for a while, but it got really fun and the cast was amazing and we all became really good friends. One of my all-time favorite musicals is Phantom of the Opera. I got the chance to see it live and it was amazing. I was simply mesmerized by it. In 2005 they took the musical and made it into a movie, which I have seen several times and it's simply amazing. The storyline is amazing in Phantom of the Opera. The music is just as spectacular with Andrew Lloyd Webber. It's just all over an amazing, amazing experience. Phantom of the Opera is about a chorus girl named Christine who receives singing lessons from the Phantom that lives under the famed opera house. The Phantom falls in love with Christine while she is in love with a childhood sweetheart, Raoul. The Phantom's love turns into an obsession and soon his jealousy consumes him. One of the most recent musicals that came into theaters that is one of my favorites now was Sweeney Todd. I was so impressed with Johnny Depp's singing voice. This musical was amazing because it was so dark, yet the music was so amazingly written and performed, and it was wonderfully directed by Tim Burton. Another one of my all-time favorite musicals that has been made into a movie is Rent. While I've never seen it on stage, I've seen the movie several times, and the soundtrack I'm obsessed with. The music is amazing, and the script just as good. Set in New York City's gritty East Village, the revolutionary rock opera Rent tells the story of a group of bohemians struggling to live and pay their rent. Measuring their lives in love, these starving artists strive for success and acceptance while enduring the obstacles of poverty, illness, and the AIDS epidemic. Another one of my all-time favorite musicals is Wicked. I've read the book and it's simply amazing. I actually fell in love with Wicked when one of my friends gave me the soundtrack to it. It didn't take long for me to have every song memorized, and still I randomly break out in song of it. I've never actually seen it, but I really want to someday. Went and saw The Lion King, which was phenomenal. It was so much fun. It was so cool how they could take the actors and actresses and make them look like animals. Like where the giraffes would just come walking across on stilts, or the rhinoceros would go running across the stage. The guy that played Zazu was amazing. Half the time he had this little puppet bird, the other time he was just himself. It was just so unique, and the costume designers were amazing. There are many more musicals that I want to participate in, and even more that I want to see live on the Broadway stage, including Legally Blonde, Avenue Q, and Beauty and the Beast. But for now, my next excursion is to see Vita next month.